Good morning, all you Facebook peeps. This is Kim White with the My Sexy Business team. We are here this morning with the famous founder of the Crystalline Moment Success Movement, Miss Connie Meyers. Good morning, Miss Connie.
Good morning, Kim. How are you this morning?
I I am good, and I am so proud of you because I know that you are in LA and your time is earlier than my time, and we were discussing the fact that you must love me to get up this early on a Saturday morning to be on live.
Amen. Amen.
So if you're watching us and you're a little groggy this morning, grab you a cup of coffee. We've got a lot of stuff going on this morning at the Sexy Business Club launch party. You know, this princess doesn't mind if it's morning or evening or whenever. We like to party. And by party, I mean have a good time. I think that having people like Miss Connie in my life and in the club and on our team, I think that's what makes it a party all the time. So thank you, Miss Connie, for participating this morning.
Oh, you're very welcome, my dear. As long as I've got my coffee, I'm good.
Yes, ma'am. I will admit I'm an addict as well. I've had coffee this morning and I don't know what I would do without coffee. I like it a lot. I have I have a sign above my stove that says this princess runs on coffee and Jesus. So it's true.
Love it.
Well, we spent the day yesterday talking about a lot of the features of our new club. We have actually restructured my sexy business so that we could give even more than we were giving and serve even better. And I'm pretty excited about all the things we talked about yesterday, but last night I just kind of had an I don't know. I don't know if I don't think it's an epiphany because I've had this before, but I just want to talk about the pain that's involved when you start a business and you look at someone else who you perceive as doing like awesome and you're struggling and you don't want to tell anybody because they might think that you're less than they are. But I am here to tell you business is a process and sexy business is a process. And there are a lot of people out there struggling with either having a job and they want to own a business, or they own a small business, or they are in network marketing, or they are trying to write a book, or they're trying to become a public speaker. And I can go on and on and on with the list. But the thing is, they all have one thing in common, and I've never met anyone who didn't have this happen at some point, and most of us have it happen repeatedly through the process of life, but that is to just get discouraged, to wonder if it's really worth the effort that they're putting out. Miss Connie, have you ever had one of those kind of moments?
Oh, not since about 7 o'clock last night.
Well, we understand like the pain of number one, you have something inside of you that you think you're supposed to do and not knowing how to do it, or you hit a wall where you're doing something amazing but people aren't paying, or you get stuck when you're writing your book and you're thinking you know you can't finish it because you don't understand how to finish it. I mean, there's just so many places to get stuck in life, but this club is about encouraging each other. It's about having the courage to do things afraid and doing things together, because Miss Connie, you make our business better by being a part of us, and you make my life better because of you being a part of my life. And there are times when, you know, we get off track because we get excited about the new shiny thing. I'm a princess, and if it's shiny, I think I need to go look at it. And so I think that that's a pain point that I would really like to address first thing this morning, and just the fact that there are times when it's hard. Would you like to address that, Miss Connie?
Oh, I think that one of the most difficult things, because I've written books, I've had businesses on my own in the insurance business, I've had consulting businesses, and then I've had businesses that I've had partners, and there's good and bad sides to both of those. But I can tell you that not having someone to collaborate with, someone to bounce ideas off of, that really understands your business, that has your back, is definitely one of the most challenging parts of being in business for yourself. And as a matter of fact, that's why I spent about a year looking. I had a virtual assistant, but she was not local, and I decided that I had to go find somebody that I could. And she also didn't have the skill set that I really needed to be able to bounce ideas and that. So it took me a year to find somebody that I could really work with. And having a team like this club makes all the difference in the world in being able to have ideas. You and I have spent a lot of time talking about different ideas and things we can do, or we could do, and give each other suggestions. And I think that is really that's really invaluable. It really is. I mean, there's so much to do. It's like my son, when he started his business, he did a wood business. He did wood finishing, but not furniture, like other kinds of stuff. And he says, when I'm in the shop working, I don't have time to go and market. And when I'm marketing, I'm not in the shop producing. And just having someone to talk to, like he would call me on a regular basis, because he was stuck on what to do and how to do it. So I think that's really key and that's the secret. That really is the secret sauce to what you're
doing. We always laugh and talk about the secret sauce that's not really secret.
Exactly.
We think we think it's, people will sell something to someone and they'll tell them, well, this is the secret thing and you have to learn from us, and it's just not true. And I think that's one of the things that I love about the club is there's a lot of flavors in this club. There's a lot of flavors that can help people who, maybe I can't speak to that place in them that they need spoken to. But, I got a message yesterday from Keisha Chester, and she sent me the sweetest message, and I was so blessed by her taking just a minute. She just sent me a quick little message, but it made my day. And I think, this club is about that. I mean, we have some amazing peeps in the club, but I also think that having the opportunity to, to team up, because that's kind of the thing. All the members of the club, you don't have to team up with anybody, but it's opportunities that you can. It's opportunities to do some things together. Anything done together is way more powerful than doing it alone, because you just get more momentum, you get more reputational currency, you get more relational currency. Dr. Cassandra taught me something, and I think this is a huge thing to wrap your mind around, and I think she's amazing at helping with certain things about business, that maybe not doing business as norms. She does, she helps people find like multi-million-dollar contracts for things. And she was talking about partners versus team members. And I thought her definition is so powerful because, if you have a partner and they're a full-time partner in your business, that may not be the right thing for you. But to have a team and each person on the team has their own business, but you come together to do a project, or you come together to do a book, or you come together to do an event, or you come together to do something, how powerful is that? Because, there's strength among each person that's a little different than the others. And so team building, and I think Drew said yesterday, that team building is power. Like you're building power when you build a team. And I think that's so true, that
absolutely,
partners are permanent, but like teams are, you can change it up because maybe this time the team needs the last time because the project's different or because the event's different. And so I just think it's a very powerful thing.
Yeah, I think for me, for example, my primary sphere of influence is in the real estate industry. And the one thing that I truly love about the people that are involved with the club is the fact that they come from all different walks of life. They come from they all have businesses or things that they're doing that are different from what I'm doing. So they bring a perspective that I don't necessarily have. And that really just, all that can do is grow you. So if you're thinking of starting a business, or if you're thinking of how you want to expand your business, getting the perspective of people that are outside of your sphere of influence can't see. And I think it would be a good idea. Why don't you just kind of talk a little bit about some of the people that are in the club and give an idea of what their backgrounds are. My background is I've been in marketing and sales for over 40 years and worked with people in the insurance and the real estate industry and helped two businesses go national. But now what I do today is a lot different than what I used to do in the past. And I'm sure there's lots of people in the club that have very different backgrounds. For example, maybe you could talk a little bit about Dr. Cassandra and what she does, as well as Oz, and you've got Dave Albin and Gary King. Talk about some of the backgrounds that they have, so people can kind of get an idea of who is involved in the club.
Well, the thing that I love about it is the diversity. There are a lot of different backgrounds that are members of the club. And, one of the important things when you're going through a business trial, I'll say, you're struggling with a business idea or a business that's already, in the works. Sometimes you have to find someone who is similar. Dr. Cassandra yesterday talked about the fact that don't worry about the competition part, because even if we do the exact same thing, there's a different flavor. And so we have top level executives. We have some CEOs in the club. We have some business owners, we have some best-selling authors, we have some public speakers. We just have a great background of people. But I think the sexiest part about all that is that, that they share their story. They are not scared to tell you where they came from and where they are now is different than where they came from.
Absolutely.
We have been... And I came from nothing. I mean, I want to point that out big time. I I know what it's like to have nothing. And I don't like that feeling. I can remember having, small boys and having to figure out how I was going to feed them. Got myself, into a situation where I didn't know how I was going to feed them. But I want everyone who's listening to understand that you can get past those places. Even when you don't feel like you can get past those places. And I think that's the most awesome part is the stories that are, coming out in the club are stories of hope and stories of, that you can overcome things. There are some that are in the group that have survived great trauma. They've survived. Some of the trauma was inflicted upon them, and some of the trauma was brought from the choices that they made. I've had things happen in my life that that a lot of people would have just laid down and stopped. A lot of people, but but God, and I know that He has kept me, and I kept showing up. One of my books is called Red Lipstick: The Art of Showing Up. And the truth is, I think showing up is a huge piece of the puzzle that we forget is to show up even when we think we're not qualified, or even when we think that we aren't at the spot to be, showing up. We still need to show up because as you show up, you learn things. And as you show up, you get into the mode of, you're changing. Not only are you learning things, but you're changing when you show up and you overcome that fear of, whatever they say. That's one of my favorites is, who are they? Who are they that says you can't do something? And so the club members are a lot of amazing people with diverse backgrounds, diverse in so many ways, but they all have a heart to, do good business. They have a heart to tell their story. They have a heart to do something to change the world. Again, I'm going to go back to my necklace. I don't know if it's showing up this morning, but my starfish necklace is about the starfish story. I didn't invent that. But I love that story because I may not make a difference in everyone's life, but if I make a difference in one person's life, I can change the world for them. And so this club is full of world changers. It's full of people that aren't afraid to give you access. And I think that's a key too, is we're going to be doing like some live Q&As in the club where you can talk to each other. You can talk, in the group, but you also can talk out loud. We're going to be doing some things like this, only they'll be private because we'll be going pretty deep. We're talking kind of about the club right now, but we are actually going to teach how to have an online conference. We're going to teach, how to rock your social media. We're going to be teaching how to, set things up to have a more sexy business. All that's going to be coming out in the club. So everybody's going to bring a flavor to the thing. If you're listening, you have a flavor. In case no one's told you that, you have an awesome flavor. So, get ready to participate. Get ready to, and some people that get in the club will kind of watch for a little bit because they're a little nervous about participating. But that's okay too. Come watch. Come get comfortable. Come get confident.
Well, I think that be able to participate in whatever way you want to participate. The thing that I know about the people that are involved is they're willing to share their ideas. They're willing to share their knowledge, and if as they get more involved, everybody will open up and want to share.
Well, and the truth is everybody in the club is a possibility for you to get an invitation to do something. It's a possibility to get an invitation to go speak. I was on the Run Women's Conference tour this last year, and there were some pretty crazy, amazing things that came out of that tour that weren't like, they were behind the scenes things. And now we're going in October to speak in New York because of something that transpired on the tour. I'm an Oklahoma princess. And so it's amazing to me that, that my New York come and speak, because, I speak slow compared to up north. And so it's amazing to me that they want this flavor. They want this flavor to come and participate. So I love that. I love that we are able to do things. We're going to Salt Lake City next month. We're going to,
You're
all
coming to
these
Vegas.
different places. I'm coming to Vegas. Vegas, we're going to take by storm, I'm pretty sure, because we've got like a whole team coming to Vegas. But it's just exciting. It's an exciting thing, and I don't want to make this a sales pitch. It is a sales pitch in the fact that I want you to join the club, but I want you to understand why I want you to join the club, because it's not just about the money that you pay. It's about the change that you have for your future. That's the part that I see, because we've been running groups for a long time, and we've ran some groups that they paid a lot. I'm talking thousands and thousands of dollars to be in, to have this kind of access. And, we are streamlining our business. We're changing up our business because we want to serve more. We want to be able to catch more people who they're not ready for a $100,000 mastermind group. But if they don't start, they're never going to be ready for that group. And so we want to enable and empower everybody that's, willing to show up. That's the thing, is show up. And, I want to say again, $7 is what it costs to join for the first month. And, you can't even get a burger for $7 anymore. That's one of those things. So, I don't think that we're unreasonable in the price. I don't think we're unreasonable in what we're asking. And on top of that, you're getting such value that you don't even have any idea until you get in that club. Like, you don't have any idea what you're missing out on if you don't join. So I'm definitely going to keep encouraging. If you talk to me, you're going to be hearing about it, because this is our new baby, and we are so excited. We are so excited. So I just think that.
I think it's a really great idea. And I think that the thing that because I know some of the people, excuse me, that are involved, that the knowledge that's in this club already is unbelievable and powerful. So I appreciate you even coming up with the idea.
Oh, Miss Coni, I would like to say that that I had this idea all by myself, but that wouldn't be true. We've had all kinds of we've had all kinds of ideas over the years of how to do things, but this just made sense. Like, there are other clubs out there. There are other membership sites. There are other things, but I have not found one that's doing exactly what we do. And so I think it's important to know that you don't have to pick this club and not be in anything else. This is a great addition to what you're already learning, but I can tell you that the regular price for the club it's $27 a month. And I would have paid 10 times that to have had some of my moments where I needed encouragement. I'd have paid 10 times that just to have some of the things we're offering inside the club, because I understand that one technical difficulty can keep you from going on. You know,
Amen.
day, one day of being discouraged, one day of not knowing how to market, your stuff, not knowing how to, just all the different things. And when you come together and you hear that other people have had those days also, where they don't know how to get past them, and yet you're showing them that you can. And not only just that you can, but how to. That's another like sexy part of this is we're not going to just talk about stuff. We're going to show you how to do things. We've got all kinds of, I've got hundreds of like PDFs ready to start putting in the club that will give you social media trackers, where you can figure out how to start marketing your business to 2 billion people on just Facebook. Instructions on different things. We're actually doing instructions on how to do Be Live and Facebook Live so that people can start doing these conferences. These conferences are like, they're amazing sauce because you get all these people participating. I mean, our first one, we didn't warn anybody we were doing it until 2 days before, and we ended up with over 20,000 views just in the first, I think it was the first 3 days, and it was a 4-day conference. So I mean, that's huge. That's a huge thing. So and a lot of the people out there just need to know that they can do it. That this is not, it's not near as scary or difficult as we make it. I love the thing that we went to Handle at school. That's kind of what the club's about. It's about, going to Handle at school. What is it that you need to handle? What can we help you handle? What can we help you change in your business that will get you past that place of discouragement and get you out there? Because that's another thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be promoting from within. We're going to take some of the people that are in the club and we're promoting them out loud. Like, we're taking them to our followers and showing everybody, what awesome sauce they are. So anyway, I think that's about as much as I can say without them just being in the club. What do you think, Miss Connie?
I think you've pretty well covered it. It reminds me, like when you go into a store or something and you buy like a new TV or a new computer or something, they ask if you want to buy the warranty. Well, this is kind of like a warranty for your business. And some, I can tell you that about 3 or 4 months ago, I spent days trying to figure out something on my social media, days. And just having the club members to be able to say, hey, how do I do this, would have saved me hours and lots of money if I'd have had that ability.
Yes, and that's another thing too, though, that's really, I'm a kindergarten princess. I say this all the time because I need pictures. If you're going to tell me something, I need pictures to understand. But we're simple. Like, simple is what we have to execute on something. And so that's one thing that the club is doing that's like super sexy too, is we're simple about things. We're giving instructions as if you don't know anything, and then if you do know a lot, just move to the next level of instructions. Don't be intimidated. It's like Be Live and Facebook Live. Don't be intimidated by these interviews. You can do these interviews. Most of the people that came on were panicking over, they had never done this technology before. And I can't tell you how many of them after the fact said, wow, I feel so empowered to have done this. And then guess what I see all over Facebook from them? They're all going to do their own little conferences. Like they're all going to go on and do their own little things. And how empowering is that you can teach somebody how to take their product or their service or their business to the world by teaching them how to use a little bitty app. I mean, that's pretty sexy.
It is. It's very sexy, actually. So I had done a couple of Facebook Lives, and I can tell you there's some secrets to doing that I learned by doing. And I think I loved when you did the first conference, and nobody, the speakers, nobody knew about it until 2 days before, and then nobody knew about it online until the day you turned it on. And
Yes.
to have that much of a response is a pretty that's very awesome sauce. And I think that just that one little tidbit of how empowering it was for people to see the results, and that you don't have to be a guru. It doesn't have to be finely tuned and polished. As you do them, you'll get better.
I will
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, it's kind of like the Nike slogan, just do it. Just came as a nod to anytime there's an athlete that gets ready to go out onto a court or go onto the football field or whatever they're doing, there's always this moment of hesitation before they go. And the word just is a nod to that second, or as Mel Robbins says, the 5-second rule, where you just do it.
Yes. And sometimes, most of the time, you do it afraid.
Absolutely. You always do it afraid.
Yeah. And I have to tell you, I like pep talked several of the speakers for the Hope to Hope conference because they were very nervous. They kept telling me they were very nervous. But the truth is, the emotion for nervous and excited is the same thing. So switch up what you're saying. Quit being nervous and be excited. Because, if you're going to show up and you're going to do it anyway, then be excited. When I first started speaking, oh my goodness, people were probably nervous for me because I was so bad. And, I get tickled now because I think, you want to do Facebook Live? Okay, I'm ready. At this point, I mean, I went the last event, the big event for the Run Women's Conference tour. I had an allergic reaction to some hair color, because I got to be vain. I'm a princess. And I went with my vanity very bruised and in my pocket because I had a big old bobblehead. My whole head swelled up. My eyes were so swollen I couldn't get mascara on. But, I showed up anyway. I put my tiara on, and I went out anyway with my big old bobblehead. And I think that's, I can't tell you to show up if I don't show up. I can't tell you that that's the way to do things if I'm not doing it first. And so I feel like that's a lot of the showing up for the club. Show up for the club and find out what you can do to show up in your business. I mean, this video is not going to go to 2 billion people today because we don't have 2 billion people that follow us yet. But, just the Facebook Live part, there's 2 billion people that are possible to get on here, and you don't know which one's going to get on here, and you don't know who it is that you're waiting to meet that will change your business completely. We're going to have some more people on in a little bit that are going to talk about some changes they made that were, they were powerful. And, we're constantly changing. I think how to do better business, you do better business. And then you learn how to do even sexier business, and you continue to evolve. And so I think, go ahead.
Why don't you talk a little bit about who the people are that are coming on after this one?
Well, Oh my goodness, one of my favorite people in the whole world, Christy Bridges. She will be on next in the next session. She is a little powerhouse. She's like a corporate trainer and she does all kinds of things, but she's written books, she's written um, workbooks, she's doing Bible studies, she's turned an idea into an entire series of books. And she does Facebook every day. She has been faithful and consistent to do something that is changing people's lives. And so she's coming on. Noah MacArthur's coming on later, and Luis. I always have to look at how to say his name, but Luis Cabiano. Anyway, Luis will be with us.
And what
They
is
are
Noah
powerful. I think it'd be easier to give you the list of what Noah doesn't do. That would probably be an easier list. Noah has impacted not just, not just a small group of people. He's from the Dallas area, and he hasn't just impacted a small number of people. He's actually impacted the entire country of Belize. He does, hundreds of millions of dollar deals with countries, with dignitaries, with corporations. He's extremely powerful in business, and Luis is his right hand man as far as they are partners. I always laugh and tell them they're partners in crime, but they are amazing. Like they are so, and Luis is very soft spoken. I enjoy just having meetings with them because they are just fun and they are extremely brilliant. So they will be on in a little while, and of course you will be back with me. Were kind enough to co-host with me, and yesterday the technology, I hit the wrong button and made it where you couldn't be with me for a little bit. But you will be back with us, and so we've got a great morning planned. We'll be here till off and on till about 1 or 1:30. So if you want to get another cup of coffee and get ready for the next session, Christy will be on a little after 10, so we will be back in just a little bit. Ms. Coni, thank you for everything you're doing. Thank you for being with me.
My pleasure.
And the team. And if you haven't joined the club, I'm just gonna say go to www.mysexybusiness.com/club and join us. I mean, $7, try it out. If you don't like it, you can cancel whenever you get ready. But we think you will find it's one of the best investments you will ever make in yourself and in your business. So we love you guys, and we'll see you. Thank you, Ms. Connie. We will see you all in just a few minutes.